Hey, what's up everybody? I actually have to record this video again because in the last one I forgot to buff up, so it was actually taking a while. Pretty funny. But anyway, this should be my last build for 2.1. 2.2 should be dropping today. If it doesn't, then of course I'll make other ones before then. But today should be patch day. So what I did with this build was go with cooldown reduction. Now this is an incomplete build. I have not optimized any of it, and I have not maxed out my cooldown reduction, to a reasonable level. But this is kind of a proof of concept build. So if you want to go this way, then you could definitely get it way better than this. So let me get right to the skills to kind of show what's going on. This is mainly a lightning build, and my two cooldown moves are Black Hole and Frost Nova. Now these two moves combined with a low cooldown, over 50% cooldown, you can effectively stop groups from doing anything, even elites. So I have Arcane Torrent with Static Discharge. Since it's lightning, I'm using Paralysis. That also works really well for CCs. But I'm using Static Discharge, Arcane Torrent, because this is the best damaging skill for lightning, hands down. This one actually hits enemies around by it explodes into two piercing bolts that each deal 150% weapon damage. Not a lot, but you spit out so many of these that things get electrocuted pretty good. Black Hole with Supermassive. This is actually my favorite one because it sucks in people from so far away. The Black Hole is kind of small, so this is able to pull in those entire groups, especially elite packs. So that essentially pulls them in. Does quite a bit of damage over 2 seconds too. And these three skills are essentially for just extra damage. Storm Armor, Thunderstorm, Thunderstorm increases the damage, so this increases my damage and also has a chance for paralysis. Familiar with Spark Flint gives me a 10% damage increase, and then Magic Weapon for another 10% damage increase, along with Electrify, which is kind of goes hand in hand with Static Discharge's Explosion, where it has a chance for Lightning Dark to 3 enemies, dealing a little extra damage. And then my passive skills, Paralysis, of course, for extra CCs. So my 3 CCs, of course, are Black Hole, Frost Nova, and Paralysis for stunning. Evocation, this is a big one, this is a must-have. Reduces all cooldowns by 20%. That's a great passive for these type of builds. The Wizard really lucked out having that. Some of the builds, or other classes, don't have that. I have Astral Presence. That's just to help channel Arcane Torrent. Now I can, if I don't have, well, one of my pieces of gear has Arcane Power on crit. If I didn't have that, I would probably change up 1 or 2 or even 3 of these, depending on how much Arcane Power I need for channeling, which is easy enough. Storm Armor you could reduce by 3. Familiar, you could increase your regen, and then Magic Weapon you can on hit have a chance or restore Arcane Power. So there's 3 different types, but they all work very well. And then finally Blur for Torment 6, just for general damage reduction. So for my gear, like I said, not very much is optimized. I could actually have, up closer to 60-65%. Right now I'm at about 55% cooldown reduction. The main piece is Leoric's Crown. This is actually drops quite a bit, so you shouldn't have too much of a problem. I recently got the Ancient, not too bad. I haven't really ever used it until now. So what this does is increase the effect of any gem socketed into this item by 91%. So when you have a maxed out diamond put into it, it'll go up. Right now I'm about 24% since it is at 91%. If you do get a roll for 100%, that would be a 25% cooldown reduction. Raw. Everything is raw on this. Your actual actually differs. It's less than your raw cooldown reduction. I'll show you that here in a second. But also I have Born's 2-piece and then Captain Crimson's 2-piece, along with the Ring of Royal Grandeur. You can make these. You should have these if you're level 70 and you've been playing for a bit. So what these two do is 10% cooldown each, with some decent bonuses. So as you see, a 3-piece set bonus reduces cooldown of all skills by 10%. Also, 15% life and increased bonus experience, so that's pretty decent. And then Crimson's is regenerate health, reduces cooldowns, and then also reduces all resource costs. That's not too bad of a 3-piece set bonus. So yeah, like I said, you could easily make these over at your blacksmith. So that overall, this is easy to get where I'm at, and a little more difficult to go beyond it, because you can get gloves, both rings, and um, your amulet, your weapon, and your offhand. All those can have cooldown reduction. And as of right now, I have 55%. My raw is up around 65, and you can, if I had everything, at about 6%. Max is usually 8. This would probably be over, or my raw would be over 100%, but my actual cannot go above 80%. That's the cap. So even with you'd have to essentially have perfect rolls on everything, or 8% and 10%. Oh, also your shoulders too can also roll. So as you can see, you would essentially have to very finely tune your gear to get super huge numbers. Getting this ain't bad. Getting above this, it takes a little bit of time. Definitely worth it though, as you'll see. So right now my damage is at 1.3 million. Now let's buff up. And I'm about 1.569 million. So let's go to keep depths. Now, with the reduced cooldown, what I was trying to do with this was be able to cast Black Hole and then freeze if nobody's dead afterwards. And then once the freeze comes off, then use Black Hole again if I need to. So I could keep things CC'd. And then if everything's on cooldown, then they should be stunned. So as you see there, I was able to freeze them in place. There, I was able to freeze them again. Then also my my follower helps with turning them into chickens too. So that wasn't bad at all. My damage, of course, can be a lot higher. As you can see, my crit numbers aren't very high. They're about 1 to 5 million. Of course, I am rapidly hitting. But if you could imagine having elemental damage increases, then that would be pretty damn cool. So there, I just freeze. You know, on the weaker enemies, you could freeze them or just suck them all up. It all depends. It's just you want one off of cooldown before you use the other. That gives you maximum survivability. So there's a big group. And just suck all them up. And that's pretty much it. It's definitely worth it. And for crowd control, this is probably the most powerful way to do it. Fortune Shrine. So since everything is stunned so often, it really is pretty easy to stay alive. Your defense does not have to be outrageous. I do have Unity on both my follower and I, along with Talisman, whatever the hell you want to call it, that makes her so she doesn't die, just for, you know, general survivability on Torment 6, since I am soloing. But this is a great multiplayer build, if you could imagine, you know, everybody not really having to worry about moving around too much because of the CCs that you have. So if you could group everybody up, everybody's DPS will go up along with the stuns, and the stuns do work on elites. And then if you need be, you could use Frost Nova. And Frost Nova, actually, you can, what I went with was Cold Snap for the reduced cooldown and longer freeze duration, but you can go with increased damage, or on death it has a chance to release another Frost Nova. So there are some definite better choices for what you like for Frost Nova. And then also for damage, you could go Fire. Fire is very damaging with this type of build, especially with the Black Hole. That it essentially does twice as much damage as what I'm doing now, just for the Black Hole, with a smaller with a smaller radius. So with elemental increases, which I do not have at all on this build, I could probably get that up to I would say 80% fairly easily with what I have, with some rolls. But like I said, this little build right here took all my mats, or at least my legendary mats. So right there, that was a great fucking wipe. I don't recommend, if you don't have this completely optimized, on greater rifts. The time to kill for rifts that are on, say, 25 or, yeah, about 25 or higher would just be too long. So you could probably do it. It would just be difficult. Your survivability would be there, definitely. But um, but like I said, this is just a proof of concept video. You can definitely improve on this. This is by no means the best or any shit like that. I don't know why everybody thinks that about my builds. I thought I said that these are just, what I'm doing right now. So I'll try to remember to keep that in all my videos. Damn. Oh, oh, might be curtains. No, it's not curtains. So as you see, very easy to stay alive. Shit goes down, just cast your black hole, and then run away if you need be, and then if they're too close, cast Frost Nova. A very easy build, simple, and cooldown management becomes less of a problem as you get higher cooldown reductions. Now, cooldown reductions are probably the most powerful way to make builds in this game if you optimize them completely. As you can see, it's just, you can't really do this without the cooldown reductions. It would be helpful in moments, but to be able to do it regularly is definitely worth it. So that was pretty cool right there. So I have yet to try this in multiplayer. I recently just, kind of slapped it together. So I wouldn't mind trying it. Even at this level, it's not bad at all. And, well, that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll be coming out with 2.21 videos here very shortly after the patch comes out. And, a little bit of gameplay. So I'll be looking forward to playing that and seeing what they did with the wizard, really. Seems like they did a few things, got a new set, and then also adjusted Firebirds. So I will see what's going on there, try it on some of my old stuff, see how well it works, and if it does work, then I'll post a video about it. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and make sure to like and or subscribe to Dread's Escape if you enjoyed this or any of my other videos. And if you haven't seen my channel, head on over to that. I got a lot more than just Diablo on there. So make sure to check that out, and I'll see you next time.